back. Pat's Pals, Foxboro Freaks, Gridiron Geeks. What else? Pat's Pals, Foxboro Freaks. It's been a while since I've done it.
Geeks.
Hey, Pat's Pals, Football Friends, Foxboro. It's Pat's Pals. God, Fitzy, get on your game. What are you, live? Ready? Camera one? Camera two. Pat's Pals, Football, Foxboro Friends, Football Freaks, and Gridiron. Okay.
Geeks.
Pat's Pals and Fox.
Hey.
Pat's Pals and Foxboro Friends, Football Freaks, and Gridiron Geeks. Your old pal Fitzy, Nick Stevens, alongside the Minister of Pat's Propaganda, Mike Dussault. And you know, he is going to do so today.
I know.
I've never actually
I'm going to do so much Patriots
We're
talking.
We're going to do so much talking to you guys today.
That's right.
With our first episode in a while, welcome back. This is Foxboro and Friends, sponsored by our friends at ilovebostonsports.com. Wear your emotions on your sleeve. All the latest and fantastic merch. Make sure you pick up their new Ringland shirt. I don't have one. I would have worn that today.
Yeah, we're not in.
We're not in the store, but we're not in the store today.
We have plenty of swag up. Plenty.
Right.
I guess that isn't swag technically.
Well, yeah, like it's decor.
Decor. Plenty of I Love Boston Sports
fan
decor.
cave
But
art, yeah.
So we had to go back to Fitzy's basement, which I'm fine with. I mean, I feel like this is a return to our roots.
Right. This is where it all started, and this is where it's going to end too tonight because this is our last broadcast. Yeah, we're back at the Fitzatorium. Couldn't get down to the store today because they were doing a little post Bruins inventory action down there.
It's like burning Stanley Cup stuff.
Yeah, actually, they're actually just what they're doing is they're boxing up all of their Bruins Stanley Cup stuff, and they're sending them to Nicaragua. So if you want to be a Bruins 2019 Stanley Cup champion, all you have to do is move to one of the poorer nations of Central America, and then you'll be great.
That game was miserable.
I know. But you got to watch out for ice, not the ice they played on, but actually the ones that'll try to deport you. So. Not going to do it. That game was real quick. Okay, so we want to start off today. Make sure you guys, if you're watching live, thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
Please keep your questions coming. We will make sure to get to all of them or as many as we can at the end of the show. We got a quick fun rundown. It's a fun down for you today. We're going to start by first catching up on everything that's gone on in Patriots land with us, Boston sports-wise. Then we're going to get into everything Brady, which is coming up just marvelous. The Caserio drama. We're going to address some positions that look good, some positions we think are a little weak and in need of some work, because obviously Belichick is going to need a new Caserio when he goes to Houston next year. So who do you think he's got his good eye on, huh? Our Tweedia, and of course then your questions. So first, let's
How you been?
Great. How about you?
Fine.
Hey, did you guys catch our boy? Yeah, awesome. Thanks. Where are you from? Did you catch our boy last week on Patriots Unfiltered?
Yeah.
Someone may or may not be up for a dream job. Little content producer, content generator over there.
Talking Patriots is what I do, so it was awesome. And
If you think, okay, as much as you would hate, as I would hate to see Mike leave us doing Foxboro and Friends and more, if you think the Patriots should hire Mike to fill in for Jumbo Hart because Andy Hart departed, he departed.
The Hart departed.
And he made us. It was a Hart depart.
The
It was a Hart depart.
The Hart shirt.
Was it a Hart? Ooh, that's good. Wow, your pun game, your portmanteau work is strong today. You've been hanging around me too much.
I know, that's exactly right.
If you think they should hire him, tweet at Patriots. Actually, no. Tweet at Fred Kirsch, our boy Fred Kirsch. Great guy. Let him know Mike's writing is great. You love reading patspropaganda.com. You love to hear Mike. He's super devastatingly handsome.
I'll take
great guy. Tender lover. Just everything you'd want. Everything you'd want and then some. I mean, who would be a better fit? As much as I would hate to not be able to do this with you more.
We could still figure out a way to do this show. I mean, all it takes is a basement and a couple iPhones.
Got
so,
that. Got that. Hey.
We're pretty easy here. So, awesome. Any chance to talk Patriots? I jump right in.
Be?
So,
how great? God, that would be. I mean, I've had as far as what I've done and what I like to do. It's been dream jobish getting a chance to make videos and travel with the team and
you've gotten a taste
rallies
of it
and duck
already.
boats. I got a taste.
Only thing I got is like me in my basement with my laptop. I got thoughts about the Patriots. That's
well, to each his own.
I'll come out of the basement. I'll come to your basement.
I'll swap with you next year if you want. I'll write an article with 5,000 syntax. Yeah, Fitzy, we can't use this many f-bombs in an article on Patriots.com.
I just think ESPN should just put this show on the air, right? And then our problems are solved. We don't need anything else. We'll just do this every day on ESPN. Bump off part of my take, and it'll just be Fitzy's basement.
Right. So hopefully we'll be able to keep up with Foxboro and friends, but definitely tweet at the Pats and Fred Kirsch and let them know that they should hire this guy right here for the new content generator thing. The Bruins loss.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It sucked. And all right, you're a bigger Bruins fan, bigger hockey fan than I am.
Yeah.
Obviously, people get a little peeved at first when they're like, "Oh, here come the bandwagon fans. The bandwagon Bruins fans are joining the party." Like, look, hockey might be number 4 in the pecking order of the 4 major sports for me, just because I didn't play it growing up. Some of my friends did. I was just never a hockey guy. I've always been a football first and Red Sox second kind of guy.
But that shouldn't stop you from having.
But why am I not allowed to watch what I want to watch? Root for the hockey team that plays in my town and just be behind Boston.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was a general acceptance and a surge, and everybody was so into this because, well, we like the team. You got some Weymouth, you got some local love right there with good old Charlie Coyle down there in Weymouth.
Great. They were gonna have a parade for him.
And they were gonna have a Weymouth parade. I think I'm most upset about that. We don't get the Charlie Coyle parade.
I know, you would have Jerry Thornton maybe on a float.
It would have been great. I would have knocked him out when I threw a beer from like Barrel House D or one of the great local crafties. Hit him right on top of there. Yeah. But it sucked because, of course, obviously, that as if parade number 12 back in February wasn't the ultimate holy shit FU parade because it was 60 degrees on a day in February and the Patriots won their 6th Super Bowl. Tom Brady was going to have 6 rings. It was absolutely gorgeous outside, and no one saw it coming. Yeah. This would have been like all right, that's enough. Now they got 13.
Yeah, I know. Too much. I know. It's just so frustrating to think and there's nothing else that the Bruins can say other than you got outplayed at home in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and that's a hard pill to swallow. But you look at Super Bowl 42, 46, 52, those Patriot losses where you're like, well, if one or two plays went a different way in that game, the Patriots would have had worlds. And by the same token, had one or two plays gone in the ones they won, they might have. But a 7-game series in hockey, the better team is 99% of the time going to win. And
just the same way the Bees did when they were the better team and playing harder towards the end of the series in 2011, and they just dismissed Vancouver, which was awesome.
Yeah, and
I thought I thought given that there was one last game. And you knew that the first line was off and on all the entire time. That there was just no way you wouldn't get the peskiest and the prickliest from Marchand. That you wouldn't get the most ferocious and heart-filled from Bergeron. And like I heard them joke about on sports radio, which I listened to by accident earlier this week. Sometimes you take comfort in it after a big loss. You just want to take the temperature of the town. I heard them saying so apparently Bergeron gave the speech of his lifetime for Game 6 and got them fired up they just clubbed the Blues at home and prevented them from being able to celebrate on their own ice. And then for Game 7 they're like, what I said
2 days ago.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, do that again. That doesn't work.
They came out, they played, they threw everything they had.
They were flatter than,
and that's just, having...
As Mikey Adams used to say, they were flatter than a plate of piss.
Having played and reffed and coached, a lot of hockey games, those are just the worst games. And it's similar in football, but different, where you're just dominating. You're getting all the shots, and the goalie's just standing on your head, and it's impossible not to get frustrated. And then to turn around and give up 2 goals on their couple, on a couple chances, and especially with your star player looking like an asshole on the second one because he got off the ice with 7 seconds left and allowed a goal.
Who needs a break with 7 seconds? What am I going to do at the end of this when it's time to wrap up? I'll be like, all right, Mike, you finish up.
Go.
Yeah. Sorry. So now we got a new turn. So if you leave something because you think it's going to be disappointing way too early, that's Wahlberging. But if you leave something with just a few seconds left, it's like, wait a second, there's going to be another scene in the Avengers movie. Don't leave before the credits. That's Marchand. Yeah. So there you go. There's your new hashtag. There's your takeaway from today's episode. Yeah. If you leave 10 seconds too early for something, you Marchand. That'd be like if let's say Brady and they would never do this in Foxboro, but let's say they're like, there's no way they're going to complete a Hail Mary. I'm going to go get work. I'm going to hit the tub.
I'm going to put Gronk in there.
Right. Oh wait, that did happen. Well, the Patriots totally Marchanded last year in Miami. But here's the thing, spoiler alert, it worked out okay after all.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
Lost some
all right, so they had their mini camps and some OTA action. Tom Brady wasn't there. What a scoundrel, what a jerk. He doesn't care about his team. Didn't show up once again. Of course, last year he didn't. That worked out pretty well.
But that's not going to stop us from being trying to be upset about it.
I know, so much so that I believe you have that slide, the old number 2 right there, Tom Brady. Yes, Tom Brady,
hello.
who didn't show up last year to OTAs and had what many people believed was a non-Brady. Like, he wasn't Tom Brady, he was non-Brady.
Non-Brady.
Yeah, he was very much more cis-Tom Brady last year. According to Pro Football Focus, he was the number 1 offensive player in football, the number 1 quarterback in football, and the number 2 player overall. And I think those rankings are perfect. Why? Because he's Tom Brady, and he's number 2 to PFF, number 1 in our hearts, and number 1 on so many people's hate list. And I don't want him to ever change.
Got another season of it coming up. That's what's exciting. I mean, yeah, it's like you got to cherish these. I mean, dude, it's just crazy that here we are, 2019. It's still going on. I mean, think about
this is his 20th season, by the way.
I mean, 20 years of your life. Like, this
0,
is,
1,
I mean,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
it's been a huge.
Yep,
we're
I
doing
did
math.
the math. Yep,
math.
I did the math. I was told there'd be no math.
It's my understanding.
Yeah.
So
20th season coming up, and he's still finishing.
It's amazing, and just do whatever the hell you want, and it's Tom ride or die till the end, and it's I mean, it's been an interesting offseason, and I mean, I think you look at the team that won the Super Bowl, and you look at the team now, and it's definitely different. It's going to be different, and as we were kind of talking about on the Patriots Unfiltered podcast that I did.
You mean your other
when
lover?
I was in the studio.
When I was working for the Patriots.
It's like it's everybody's like, just disclaimer, it's just going to be different. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be totally fall apart, but it's going to be different. And the thing that I kind of keep going back to, after all the draft picks, which I liked a lot of them. I thought they had a good. I mean, we didn't do a show since the draft, and N'Keal Harry was one of my favorite guys. I mean, he was in my mock draft. He was the guy I picked.
Did we do a post draft show where did I talk about the fact that I think it was maybe one post draft.
Yeah.
Joe Juan Williams was on my flight back.
Oh,
and he was
really?
like super tall.
Yeah.
He
just has
he
the
flew
look
coach
of
class on JetBlue.
Yeah. No, he hasn't gotten that paycheck yet.
No, he hadn't gotten it yet, but at least they got him up there the next morning.
Yeah.
Super tall. Took a picture with everyone at the Nashville airport. I did not want to be that guy, just in case I ever had to do something for the Pats again, and be like, hey, remember when I approached you like everyone else at the airport, except they were all super nice about it, and I was unshaven and smelled like a brewery? Yeah, what's up, man? How are you?
Yeah.
Just tall, handsome, super nice, and apparently what we heard at camp from OTAs to mini camp in June was
looks legit.
Find, steal.
Yeah, big dude. I mean, a lot of big dudes. And I mean, they did it last year too. There's been a lot of talk like, oh, they're going to replace Gronk by getting big receivers. And like, yeah, I get it. But, you had like, Michael Floyd, Kenny Britt, those guys over the last couple of years that, I mean, I feel like there's been a conscious effort the last few years to get bigger at wide receiver. But, I don't think they're going to have a problem replacing Gronk's catches. I mean, of course, it's going to be a little different. He's Gronk. Red zone was awesome. But, we obviously evolved a little bit toward the end of the year last year. But I think, my biggest thing is like the biggest takeaway I had from that playoff run was that in each of the 3 games, they put up 150 rushing yards. You know how many playoff games over the dynasty they put up 150 rushing yards? Just 4 times before. That's it. So, that was such a big part of the championship run. And I just think when you lose Gronk, you lose Trent Brown, you lose even Adrian Waddle and Dwayne Allen.
That was a big loss.
We lost.
I was hurting that day when we lost Adrian. That's tough. I mean, maybe now because I thought maybe the jokes were getting too close, and I met him and interviewed him at Super Bowl 52 on media night.
Basically best friends.
Do I go back? Like, I've lost that. Like,
I know. Did you unfollow him?
Like,
sorry.
No.
You're dead to me.
Well, somebody made fun of his name based off some of the stuff we did in the videos once, and I think I got in the chain. So I got like some people block you on Twitter directly, and then sometimes they'll just block everyone that's in a chain, that gets tagged or mentioned in something. Like Chandler Jones blocked me because somebody talked about him smoking wax or synthetic weed. And made a joke, and they're like, "Isn't that right, Fitzy GFY?"
Oh,
so
he
blanket
blocked it.
We got a blanket blocked.
Yikes!
I got Shea McClellan jumping over the line blocked. Just like, well, I didn't see that coming. How'd that happen?
I know. I didn't even do anything.
Yeah,
they just threw you into the mix. Wow.
But jokes aside, those are some losses big, right there. Like
badass
Trent
NFL
Brown, who
players.
loved being there, who Dante Scarnecchia turned into the richest offensive lineman in history. and a great super sub across the line who can play a number of positions.
Yeah, I mean,
and then Gronk, the best blocking tight end in football, and Dwayne Allen too.
Those 4 guys. I mean, you're talking about your point of attack guys. Those are the guys who are going to be making the push right where Sony Michel, was running the ball. So, look, I'm not going to say, it's they're totally screwed now, but I think that the running game was huge for Brady. Being able to lean on that in the playoffs and stay balanced in a way that they've never been 100%. Able to do before.
And they've laid out the plan, Mike, that they showed you their hand like that. What kind of team are the Patriots going to be this year? Oh, they got to draft a new Gronk. Or like, they've got a wide receiver in the first round. They're going to go pass first. Brady's going to open it up this year. He's going to be like Moss. Like, everyone slow your roll in STFU for a second because they know what they're doing, and they gave you a sneak preview of it last year when they ran the ball as much as they threw it.
Took Sony Michel in the first round.
Took a running back in the first round and an offensive lineman who's now coming back in to hopefully, healthfully replace the guy that they lost to the richest offensive lineman contract in history. They took another running back this year. They took They took Sony Michel's clone from Alabama, a 4-year starter in Damian Harris, who supposedly is an upright guy and a great runner, and stays out of the tub and is definitely going to be on the club.
Yep.
They're going to be a running team again this year. Yeah. They took interior linemen plenty.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to try. And I mean, it's
100%.
Just, the question is, you go from Trent Brown, who's like 6'8", Gronk, who's like 6'6", when you're going to go to Isaiah Wynn, Matt Lacoste. I mean, these are the guys now at that point of attack. Are they going to get the same push that Trent Brown and Gronk is doing? So that's like, when I look at an area of like, wow, they're going to have to figure this part of it out. Not to say that they won't or they can't, because they can. They have the best offensive line coach in football, the best head coach in football. But it's going to be different, and they're going to have to evolve. And, I just think the other key is Edelman staying upright. I mean, it's like the other receivers are interesting, and I think they've done enough in that area to bring lots of guys in and kind of figure it out. But you don't have those quick open guys. I mean, is N'Keal Harry going to get open off the line within 2 seconds and get that quick Brady pass? No, he's not a burst
guy. He's a fight and compete guy.
Which is great.
He's a giant human, huge.
Just go up and grab the ball and then he's gone. But you want Braxton Berrios to like emerge as a fourth receiver.
Who we heard looks good.
Love it. I mean, you'd love them to fill that kind of Danny Amendola, take some punt return pressure off of Edelman, and chip in with some catches.
Keep the questions coming, you guys. We've got a ton of them already. Exactly. Let's take just our first comment. I thought we should definitely share. Lovely Pats fan here by the name of Lane Dussault says,
wifey's chiming in.
Could we take a minute to talk about Nick's brilliant shirt? As many other people have as well. Folks, if you guys need to get the latest and greatest from the Townie News store, hopefully I Love Boston Sports will start carrying this soon if you guys know that you like money, because that's the color of the shirt. It's $20. It's store.townienews.com. Designed by our friend artist Jason Boucher, who does murals down at Patriot Place. Did that David Andrews painting that we auctioned off to make money for Warrior Dogs, and lots of other great stuff at artist Jason Boucher on the IG. Check him out. Okay, so some other stuff. So we get the OTAs are great. Chase Winovich is going to be a stud. Everyone loves new Thor. The secondary looks great. Mayo apparently is calling some plays, and he's kind of running the defense.
Love it.
And Belichick is completely emperor to his new defensive Sith Lord, which is awesome. And everyone from Hightower, just like Hightower said last year, like, we're going to like this defense better. We're going to play more aggressively.
I just
hope
because
B-Flow simplified it.
I love
it. And Hightower has said there's no one I have ever been around that was more ready to be a coach, who's a better coach, who rallies the guys and communicates better than Mayo. So you add the picks that they made, the defensive line additions, the
Mike Pennell.
Mike Pennell and Michael Bennett, and then picking up Jamie Hightower for donuts on the dollar.
Jamie Collins.
I'm fusing the two together. They're going to be coming at you so fast. That it's going to, Jamie Hightower.
Yeah, we got
and Kyle Van Noy, who, thank God, avoided... and Collins just looks great already. Some of the boys down at PFW said that he looked great at practice.
That's what they said. They said
he
at
got paid, and now he's ready to just play football.
Right. Well, but I hope that. I mean, I always was wondering, is he a space cadet? And you heard about the freelance and stuff, and that's a big no-no in the do your job system. So you just wonder, is Jamie Collins fully ready to go, or did he get paid? Is he getting a little soft? I don't know, but the guy was always super talented. And I mean, when he left, it was like, what? Why? Really? Now? Like right now, we're getting rid of him?
Yeah.
You know, but that was the.
Well, he freelanced in the wrong game, and he wanted big money at the wrong time, and that doesn't get you
so.
anything but a free ticket to Cleveland.
It's still just crazy to me that that they just be like, oh man, all right, bye, and then they went and won the Super Bowl.
And then we'll go ahead and win the Super Bowl.
Crazy.
They kind of could have used him in pass coverage a couple of times against Tevin Coleman and.
Sure, but but you look back at 2015 and he's getting lit up by the tight ends.
Right.
He's not the best. So
no, he single-handedly in a lot of ways cost us with the biblical beating that Brady took, getting shaken baked by Owen Daniels twice in the same game.
Yeah.
Just don't have Collins come back and do whatever you want in a lot of ways. Stay within the coaching. Show us that freakish athletic talent you have, and above all, please never ever give up 2 touchdowns in a championship game to an old man tight end like Owen Daniels. Please, signed, all Pats fans.
But you gotta love having that linebacker depth back. You're getting Bentley back, so it's like, they lost Trey Flowers, but I think overall the guys that they brought, I'd throw John Simon in the mix too, who came in last year and was a good spot contributor.
When they re-signed, and he's like a spot D-line guy and a special teamer.
He's those kind of guy, man. They always find, and all of a sudden he's playing way more than you thought he would. So I think defensively they've got great depth across the board. It's just really that tight end, tackle, running back kind of situation of how that part of the game's gonna evolve. But great pieces, and I think it's a good offseason. It's time to be excited. But I think Austin Seferian-Jenkins lost. They tried to trade for that guy Michael Roberts. That didn't work out. So I still think
they tried to get Kyle Rudolph, but then he got re-up for the money, so he didn't have to relocate and do a 1-year deal here and then cash in someplace else later on.
Didn't want to take that plan.
That could be a bit of an issue. We're going to get to positions of strength, positions of weakness, and other things we think the team is going to focus on as the summer and ultimately training camp rolls on. But first, a word from our sponsor. No, we actually don't. I love BostonSports.com. There you go. We have to take a minute to just show off the picture that made the world even matter.
Can
we just take a minute?
Today's?
No, not that one. The 6. When Operation Eat a Bag of 6 was at its most bejeweled, complete.
Ring.
Look at that.
The ring.
Now, okay, 2 quick questions about it. Number 1, it wasn't for me. Tell me if this was the same for you. This time it wasn't the picture of Brady wearing all 6 that I loved as much that I think the rest of the world was like, oh, damn it, why is my timeline filling up with this shit? It was the picture of Belichick wearing 8 and Brady going like this with his 6. You had 14 Super Bowl rings. 14 friggin' Super Bowl rings in the same picture. And they're both still at the top of their game. And to just see all of that, it wasn't just Brady. Now it's both of them. Oh, and look, they actually get along and this is fun. The NFL is fucked.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Keep going.
I can say that word. It's my basement. The NFL is
my basement.
You're fucked. You're burnt, NFL. Your getting's burnt.
Yeah,
they're going nowhere. Still here and going nowhere.
It's just an embarrassment of riches. I mean,
it is.
It's crazy, and I mean, you gotta savor it because it's not gonna be that much longer.
No, I know. There's a couple more years. I know.
You think about it, but
it sure is fun to celebrate it now, and then have all of us change our avatars to that and be like, yeah, I wish I was there. And everyone who tweeted me and was like, Fitzy, did you get a ticket? No, I didn't. But thank you. I wish I was there as well.
I mean, just think about how long we were stuck in that 3-ring purgatory, and how many times
our own 3 rings of hell.
I mean, how much did 05, 06, 07, Brady's injury, the Ravens,
the Ravens
Jets,
lost, the Baltimore lost. That was it. Once they got Gronk and Hernandez, they were back. It was just that they got pantsed by the Jets and Rex Ryan with the best game plan. But 09, that was the game oh man, Welker's all torn up, Moss is going nowhere. Yeah. We're screwed. It's all done. I mean, that was the death. That was the one time I thought the death of a dynasty-ishness may have applied.
Well, it was all changing, but that's the big thing was they had to rebuild the defense again, but I just feel like they're so much better prepared now to deal with things and keep Chung and McCourty. I feel like they're kind of like
for sure. And Jowan can play a little bit of that action. He can flex out.
Jowan, I gotta get that down. I gotta get that down.
Williams.
I also am really tempted to
match up against the big boy from Vanderbilt. I don't think you do.
I'm also really trying to keep the N and the K straight because I'm gonna call him the Keel. I want to Keneal him. I'm like Keneal.
Keneal Harry.
Damn it, No.
So
I'm still working those out.
And
then you Kjalte Froholtz, those guys.
Whoa, you got the name. I cannot get that.
I like that one.
Kjalte Froholtz.
Yeah, it's right out of Thor and.
It is. Exactly.
World.
Yeah, Thor, Kjalte
Froholtz. Take the Bifrost.
I love that guy. the guy that they stole from the Jets, who's apparently just a mauler and a boss, who, in case Joe Thuney does leave, that's the thing the Pats do. Why are you taking an interior lineman from Arkansas this round? Because Joe Thuney may get paid somewhere else soon enough. And they
Joe
paid
Thuney might be the
Shaq
left
Mason.
tackle this year.
Right,
so
he could play left tackle in case your boy from Georgia doesn't heal up in time.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
It's for me. It's easy because I legally changed my name to Nefitzi. So now I'd like to be known as Nefitzi going forward. So if you guys could just, I'd appreciate that for my boy Nikhil. The other thing was, how come 422 diamonds? Because mathematically, it doesn't quite work out. If Kraft said the last one had 283 diamonds, it was the most ever on a ring until now. If he doubled it by exactly 50%, then it would have been either like 424 or 425.
You do math again?
Yeah, I know.
Carry
Twice
the
now.
Carry the 2.
I apologize. I did promise there would be no math.
I mean, isn't it kind of obnoxious? Like, I don't
422
know. Every year,
diamonds.
Every year.
I don't
the new
own
Super
a
Bowl-
diamond.
I know. Well, every year it's like the new Super Bowl ring comes out, and it just keeps like they just keep packing more shit onto it, and it's. I mean, what the hell are they gonna look like in 20 years? Where it's like, it's not even a ring anymore. It's just this like, monstrosity bracelet or whatever. But it's beautiful.
It is.
I would love
it's a nice
to have
ring.
one.
Literally, like the next day though. So Braxton Berrios, who I'm psyched had a great camp, and people said like that he bulked up a little bit,
Had like a
looked
crazy
Amendola
catch.
size, had some great
Yeah.
catches, moved well in traffic. Like you said, would love nothing more if he's 75% of healthy Amendola circa 2013. I'm not looking for Circus Catch Dola
specific.
2017. That would be great. Remember that great game? The first game he had in Buffalo where he tore his groin off the bone?
Right,
It was incredible. If we can get that from Berrios, which then frees up Maurice Harris to just be the house money receiver.
Yeah.
And you know how clutch Philip Dorsett can be. And then the big body with Harry. And who else could be? Who caught touchdowns?
Who caught 6 passes in the playoffs?
Who caught back-to-back playoff touchdowns?
I know. No, I know.
Trucker?
I'm a Philip Dorsett blotter. I'm just kind of like, he's
Well, I'll have you know
he's
that-
like the replacement level guy.
I'll have you know that Mrs. Dorsett was very nice to me
Oh, now I see.
when I watched the games in the
juice
Zuni
comes
box
out.
while I was eating delicious
So now
steak.
I see. She's hitting the unfollow
not
button on
watching,
the
but
Pats
yeah.
propaganda right now.
No, again, he and
But it's
Harris could
fine.
be a
They
house
got a
money
bunch
receiver.
of depth.
Like you said,
don't know. And
replacement
who
level
knows?
of
Demarius
positive player.
Thomas, Josh Gordon.
Oh
Wait,
my
Josh
God,
Gordon.
Demarius Thomas is on this team.
Josh Gordon.
Saw him wearing 88. He looked pretty sharp.
Look who's throwing passes today.
That's right. And, of course, the possible return of Flash. Tom Brady being out there. He's out there. He's been incredibly public doing his training on Instagram. Like there was the awesome flex with the confetti that came out of the helmet. He's been working out a ton. All those pictures of him looking like 20 years younger than he did last season when he already didn't look 40 years old, right? With Edelman, who looks like he's still carved from the same piece of awesome stone
It's crazy.
that he was last season. And I know he's got more miles on his tires now because he played into February, and last year he only had to play 15 games total, and now we're hoping he plays 19. There'll be a little more wear and tear on the Edel tires, but he got paid. He's happy.
Yep.
That's probably the last big contract of his life. Frank
Yeah.
and Angie get taken care of. Love you guys. The Edelmans are
Friends
my
of the
favorite.
show.
I want them to adopt me so bad. It's ridiculous. I literally would be like, if I'd actually look at Mr. and Mrs. Brady and be like, I love you guys. You are mom and dad. I call you Lyra and Jor-El. I get it. But I need to live in Angie and Frank's house
Yeah.
because they're the greatest.
Did you get a fanny pack yet? Like
No,
a Frank
I
Edelman
have not.
fanny
I'm
pack?
not showing up to Foxborough this fall
See,
without having a Frank
We
Edelman.
gotta talk to Jules about.
gotta
like,
make- we
making,
gotta make these.
the Frank Edelman.
I do. I
like-
got to talk to us. I think it's Asaf, who's
I don't know why everyone doesn't wear
his
them.
merch guy. If
put
you
the
follow Edelman's Instagram, all the Patriots are over there in Israel right now. You'll see a dude, a little stockier with curly brownish hair and glasses. That's Asaf. That's Edelman's merch guy. They're best buddies. They go everywhere together. I got to talk to him.
Yeah.
About getting some JE11
Frank,
Franks because they do like the yarmulke already, but like you need a Frank pack.
Yeah.
It's the greatest thing ever. I've never respected a man more for making such an awful choice.
And what was the quote? It was just like, I don't know why.
When Mrs. Edelman made fun of him for wearing it, and then he just stared down at the table and took a bite of his dessert, and he goes, "I don't know why everyone doesn't wear one."
That's the tag.
That's the tag.
That's the tagline, right? And it's
The
just
Frank
him,
pack.
like, I don't know why
Everyone doesn't wear it. That's millions. You're sitting on millions. Edelman, don't you cut us out. Don't you, Asaf, Edelman, don't you guys cut us out. Everyone's going to be wearing Frank packs
Were
this
you
fall.
tempted to just be like, pockets?
I know, and he's a mechanic too, which means he has lots of pockets.
Right?
Right?
He's like, what? Look at these cargo pants. Jesus.
Yeah.
Got pockets everywhere. Yeah, it's they're good. They're good. What do we got?
All right, so we went over the rings. We talked about all the other stuff. Like I'm super happy where this roster is sitting right now. I love right now before
You're never going to be completely like no holes. I mean, maybe
No.
once or twice you've been like no holes, but
yeah.
I mean, it's other than tight end, you feel pretty good about everything, and just curious to see how it's all going
Right.
to play out because there's a lot. I mean,
I'm
it's always
so
open
psyched.
competition.
I cannot believe
you know?
how excited. I cannot believe they've won 6 Super Bowls.
You're still into it?
I'm so
Still
yeah. You
feeling
know
the
what? I
footballs?
think I'm gonna watch. I think Brady's
Yeah.
gonna be okay.
Yeah,
Belichick's
tune
a
in.
pretty good coach. Yeah. Like every time I see some of these different tweets, like there was that one that went out with like some footage of Scarnecchia, and the breakdown of it was like I think it was Warren Sharp that
Yeah, he's great.
Sharp Football
Yeah,
put it out.
yeah.
He does some great breakdowns. It's at Sharp Football if you're looking to follow that guy. Talking about how Scarnecchia's thing is not only like does he teach them to beat the guys up when they're run blocking, which is usually
Pass,
O linemen's
yeah.
like, but make
Yeah.
trying to rush the passer a miserable experience. Not like hold on for your life, like beat them up as they're trying to get past you.
There's
And,
great
like,
YouTube clip of him giving this
Yeah.
exact top.
Ooh.
Just Google YouTube Dante Scarnecchia.
Scarnecchia pass block.
Talking about the attitude of you think that pass blocking you're going to get soft because you're just kind of waiting back, and it's not his philosophy at all. It's take the
pretty
fight to them, and that's
Yeah.
why he's the best, man. He's just like this crazy old man, old offensive line coach.
I hope he's with them just since they talked him back after Gouge was here for a couple of years. Just stick around just a couple more. The Gouge. He's great. All right, let's just brush past real quick. We've had a couple people asking if we would talk about the Easterby drama and Nick Caserio possibly leaving to go to Houston. Yeah, so what was this all about? So they were caught talking at the championship
Supposedly,
ceremony, and Easterby was
allegedly,
the morals and good guidance coach or some nonsense.
Well, I read Greg Bedard's kind of take on Boston Sports Journal this morning, which he said that the Patriots are pissed at Jack Easterby.
Because he chides Kraft on the way out the door, saying like,
yeah, well, they paint him as a guy who despite being this chaplain character coach kind of guy is
Right.
ambitious and is trying to move up the ranks, and that they're assuming that he kind of put it out there to Caserio, who I think he also shares an agent with.
Oh, the old,
we're going to be firing our GM, and I mean,
interesting.
I just find myself really not caring about all the I don't know. It seemed, and then the Ben Volin thing coming in at the end here, that has just been like the cream cheese frosting on this shit.
I wonder
sandwich.
sometimes.
It's just
Quick question. I got to jump in. The cream cheese shit frosting is great too. I might. That's a great album title. Hold on. Do you actually call him Volin, or just because that's what you call him that, or are you trying to troll him when you say it? 'Cause isn't it Ben Volin?
I don't even care.
Ben Volin. Like, you don't even get the best thing.
I don't know.
I actually no. I'm going to start calling him Volin just
Volin?
to piss him off too, because he goes
What
on.
am I saying wrong? Volin?
Yeah, you were saying Volin. Whatever, right? I just say I say we all keep calling him that just to piss him off.
Guys, you can unfollow him and not miss anything about the
Yeah.
Patriots.
Oh,
you can ignore him. I haven't followed him. I don't care. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, what do you do now? And well, I didn't mean it this way. And like, why?
We actually got that question on Twitter. Several people asked, like, they were like, hey, I forget who it was who said, like, is Volin the most annoying
I got a good Volin story and
Patriots follower?
I was
I
always
don't follow him. You can get it. There's so many different people.
What
Follow
are you
Zach
following
Cox
for?
from Nesson. Follow Doug
He's not
Kyde.
giving you any like
Follow
X
Mike
and O.
Reese.
Yeah,
If anything, he's just gonna piss you off with this this nonsense, and then say, "Oh, I talked to Shaughnessy, and it's mostly unfounded, and it's more of an opinion piece about Caserio being pissed at the Pats and the Pats being pissed back."
This story will sum it up. They a couple summers ago they were kind enough to credential me for training camp, and I'm super excited. You get to sit in a little media tent, which it really isn't that great of a view anyway. But I was there and I had the badge and everything, and so I'm so excited to get to training camp. I'm just like laser focused on.
Right.
Oh, there's that guy. How is he? I'm just like in a world of my own. And Ben Volin the whole time just sat in the back row of the media tent, chatting people up, making stupid comments under his breath. And I'm like, there is so much information being discerned right now on the field that is like fascinating to me. shut up. Like, I'm the stupid blogger guy.
Sorry that you're
working
bored
for the
with this, that
Boston
you've been there
Globe.
so long that,
It
it's
just
a snooze
cemented
fest
everything
to you.
I thought about him.
It takes the joy out of it.
It
It takes they're joyless. That's why, and you know what? Here we go. John Kirby points out that's why they call him trolling bowling.
I know. So why
Yeah.
give him, you know, and
Why give him the time of day? There's so many other
and
better
I do
follows,
the same with
better
Felger and
interviews.
Maz and all that other shit where it's like, guess what they said today? I'm gonna spend my day railing about what someone else is like. I just
When
worry
they're
about
just chumming
team.
the waters
I
with
don't care.
negativity for you guys to take the bait, and we keep begging you, don't take the bait. There are so many other better follows too, like our pal Jeff Howe, who's actually been on the show before.
Friend of the show.
Great guy, friend of show, good dude. He just tweeted out a few minutes ago, works for the Athletic.
He hates me
because he has a head on his shoulders, and he's not an asshole. As of this afternoon, an NFL spokesman said the league still doesn't have an update on the status of Patriots wide receiver Josh Gordon's indefinite suspension. Specifically, I asked if there's a timeline for review of the suspension. Pat's report for training camp 5 weeks from today. Also, it is T-minus Troy Brown. It is 80 days away until Patriots football kicks off. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. Okay, that's kind of what I expected to hear as well. But someone inside must have a pretty good idea of like, oh no, we're gonna let him play this year. Just like the Pats pick up the option. He got the 2.4 million, so they want him there. He's getting in shape. He wants to be back there. And it makes so much sense for the Pats to now funnel any of, like, that's the thing. Like, they got to go get that Gronk. Like, they don't need to, because if they have two 6'3", 230-pound wide receivers that can play on the outside and fight for the ball or go down the seam or work out of the slot, why do you need to worry about the tight end? You can
receiving
Lacoste
part
it
of
and you
it,
can
like
Watson
Ben
it all you
Watson,
want.
like, you know, they'll figure it out. You're not gonna replace the two-way player. That
Dude,
Gronk
they're gonna
was.
have the Patriots this year. They're gonna be so revolutionary and so dynamic. They're gonna have the first two punter formation, for God's sakes. They're keeping both of them, and Belichick's gonna decide. You know what? I don't know if I want this to be a left or a righty, so I'm just gonna have both of them back there. Fuck it.
Right. You don't know. I mean, it's so funny. Like, that's like, you know, I mean, last year it was with Boyorquez. It was a pretty, like, interesting competition. He could really boom, and he was just totally inconsistent. I think that'll be the biggest question with the rookie is, you know, how consistent can he be? But I mean, again, talk about fascinating stuff to watch at training camp. You know, it's like punters. I mean,
Right.
Bedard and Nick Underhill's back, who's great. He was a big punter timer guy. So you got all these.
But apparently
all
this
these stopwatches on
Stanford
him.
dude like blasts the ball.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, let's
Go.
go.
Keep them both.
Let's go.
I want to see. I want to see both back there. I do. I want people just literally guessing. Real quick, Derek Venata. Hey, Fitzy, what's up? Go Pats. You missing football like me? Yeah, we are. I mean, we're sitting in the Fitzatorium on a friggin' Wednesday at 1:30 talking ball, man. It's June. It's June. Wow, how about that? Steve Goslin says, hey, Fitzy, I got some people at my pawn shop. I'm watching you guys. People have just come in and say, like, hey, no shit, it's Fitzy. Hey, how about that? You regular pawn stars over here, guy.
I'm part of the other guy today.
It's fine. I got to say, and you wear the other guy's skin very well. And Peggy Freeze checking in. Hello from Germany. What's German for LFG?
Guten Tag. Oh,
LF Guten Tag, Peggy.
We're worldwide. Foxboro and friends, worldwide.
It's fantastic. All right, so I don't make much of it either. Look, if it's a play by Caserio, because he's like, maybe I'll see if I can go there.
He went berserk. I don't.
Yeah, like, all right, maybe I'll go see if I can get paid, or how about I just see if Bill will give me a little more money? Great. If not, like, no big deal. The Pats aren't just gonna like let him go for the hell of it.
Yeah, I know.
It makes no sense. And Caserio, he
does
gets to
so
do
much.
everything there.
It's hard to translate
He
that
helps run
job,
track.
and trying to determine what his, he doesn't have final say, but he's throwing passes at training. It's like he's on a headset during games. I mean, you saw in all the behind the scenes stuff that they've done over the years, which, by the way, more videos coming. We got the America's game. We get whatever they Do Your Job 3. I don't know. I mean, that stuff coming up in September, which is
know.
Mwah.
Yeah,
looking forward to that. But you see how involved
what do you think
he
of 3 Games to Glory 6, by the way?
I haven't even watched it yet.
That's magnificent.
I haven't watched it yet. I know it's crazy. I
Magnificent.
have all the other 5, and I just haven't bit the bullet and gone down there and bought it and sat down.
Wait, did you just actually just like kind of humble brag us as a fan base? Just like, I got the other 5.
I do.
And just haven't had time.
Oh, it's one of my proudest Patriots achievements. Having that original one on DVD, no less.
Right.
Which was, it's hard to find, but you got to be.
Good point.
But they've been sitting.
I know.
there,
It's fantastic.
But I'm sure it is. And it's like you get away from it. You want to like just kind of forget and then re-experience it.
You do like the small cooler with six right there, and then you do snacks in front of you, and then tissues this way for depending on how you need to use them. And I don't judge. Use them however you want. I get it.
There'd be some
I did. It's all good.
And then there'd be some elation at the
Just
end.
nonstop Pats porn.
Yeah,
And I'll tell and the more and when I watch that and when I just talk about last season and what a wild ride it was, I think I've come to, this is no hot take, it's just I really think from the experience to how worked up I get when I think about watching it to sitting down here in the Fitzatorium watching it and drinking Black Russians in honor of my dad's best friend who had just passed away and who I grew up going to the basement of watching football games. I literally drank Miller Lights and Black Russians the entire time and was just losing my mind. And to think about what a roller coaster ride that game was and what an awesome finish it was, and then to see the joy on their faces. You've never seen Tom Brady as happy. Yeah. He has a full hand. He was on his way to the Infinity Gauntlet, the Brady Gauntlet. But he's a full hand of Super Bowl championships, and they were that happy. It meant that much to them, and it's still that fun for us.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I know. It was just the perfect cap. Because it was, like I said, like you had those first three, and then it was, what such a part of me getting into all this crap was like, can they get more? They've got this young quarterback and this great coach, and it's all in place, and they're not going anywhere. And they did it. They reproduced. Granted, it wasn't. 3 out of 4.
Right.
But it was 3 out of 5 with one Super Bowl
they
loss.
Went to 4 out of 5. That 5 straight AFC championships for. I mean, like,
so
I know
it's guys, crazy. It's
you've
crazy.
done the math. I'm
I do.
doing
I think
no more math.
I think what I'm doing with 3 Games of Glory though is I'm just taking a step back. I'm kind of forgetting the details a little bit, and then you go back and you re-experience it, and you're like,
I like it.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about how tense this was. But God, remember? that Kansas City game. God, it was so tense.
Okay, so none of us are that upset about it, and I don't think they're trading him anytime soon. They've had enough turnover internally, both player-wise and
coaches,
and coach-wise. So I'm, with the random departure of Schiano and obviously Easterby leaving, etc. And they lost O'Shea.
Yeah.
No, they're good like that. So they'll keep Caserio around as long as they can. If they need to revisit it next year, that's fine. Like we're on to 2019.
Just don't touch Ernie Adams.
No. Pink stripes.
That's when we riot.
Yeah, exactly. That's when shit goes down. All right, real quick. Before we get to the rest of the viewer questions, I wanted to talk about the surprise position of strength and the surprise position of need for the Pats. We'll go position of need first. Like we said earlier, we don't think they're going to use the tight end as much, but the fact that they're going to go into training camp with Izzo, the Beck kid who was who they gave a lot of money to, like $150,000 for an camp invitee, undrafted. Lacoste.
Steven Anderson.
Steven
He's like
Anderson.
a receiver. He's a light guy. He's like 6'2", 230.
Right.
He's not blocking.
One of those move tight ends.
Yeah, and I went back and
of
had
course
to look
Ben
at more
Watson,
at Lacoste.
who's got the suspension.
Yeah, and that's it's kind of like what we saw in the 07, 08, 09 offense with Ben Watson. He's not, he doesn't have that physical blocking presence that, you would love to have out of a two-way tight end like Gronk. But, in Matt Lacoste, he's not going to really block anybody either. He's more in that Ben Watson role too. He's, lining out a little bit, wide and running those quick routes, and and he was just inconsistent. He could be fine, but it's hard to say, but that's the thing about it's just he's going to throw it all at the wall. Everybody's on a level playing field.
Right.
You paid some of these guys more money than others, but that's what's always fun. You always have guys going to come out of nowhere, and that's what you're kind of watching for.
Strong middle class.
But again, left tackle, it's like, is Isaiah Wynn going to step in his second year off of a torn Achilles and give you what you got out of Trent Brown last year?
I think it's impossible to give you what he got out of Trent Brown.
And who's the swing tackle? You don't even know right now. You don't even know.
I know because they signed the Valdehair kid, Valde retired, and that was that. Like he tapped out.
He hit the Reggie Wayne retirement button.
Exactly. I got to take a picture with a Pats shirt on at Disney World with my family, and then I'm out. I got paid. I can walk. I can think. I got it. I did it, guys.
But those moves all show that they shared the concerns that we're talking about right now of like we got to add some depth. They tried to trade for Michael Robert last week, and it didn't work out. So
but they're going to
questions, but it's always going. It's always going. It's always
all
going.
Season long.
The opening day starter at tight end could literally be on another team right now.
Right.
You just don't know. And they could spend most of training camp with it. You never know. So they are training. They're building the team year round. So.
Right.
Just because we're sitting here, it's not like, well, this is it. This is what we got, and it's only going to get worse from here.
I think Yeah, it'll constantly be addressed, and people are going to nag about it, and like, "Why they lost?" People are calling like, "They lost Gronk, and how could you like when you saw that coming, like you knew you needed to draft something?" Like, please.
I would have just re-signed Dwayne Allen. That's like one thing where I know he got paid a lot, and that was what I would have.
He
just
got paid a
made
lot
that
to be a
push.
character guy and start putting in.
It's just nice to have that baseline guy. It's like
Yeah.
I can throw him in there, and him and Watson together would have just been all right. We can that's a manageable NFL duo of tight ends. But
Watson and Allen, that's a firm you could have trusted
Watson
right
and
there.
Allen.
Yeah, Watson and Allen.
You can trust.
Position I think that is pretty rock solid, that I've thought is rock solid all along, and I'm super happy about, is the running back spot, because Sony Michel misses the mini camp in June in the OTA action because he's resting the knee, little scopage, but he should be good to go for training camp in the season. Like I said, I love the Damian Harris thing, and they still got Sweet Feet, and you got my boy Sexy Rexy, the ultimate
He's
Swiss
got to
Army
have
knife.
a full season in him at some point,
my
doesn't he?
God.
Like he's got to have
Running
one
back is
season
the Pats they're great. They have every need. If you need to go up the gut, outside the tackles, quick passes.
They do. It's a spectrum.
Yes.
I love it. And as I
it.
said on the show last week, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Damian Harris leads the team.
No,
rushing.
I would not either. I might draft him first in fantasy overall just because.
Screw
seriously.
everybody.
Yeah, because why not? That's the whole thing. You're a fool if you draft Patriots running backs for your fantasy team in the first place. But I wouldn't be surprised either if he leads them in carries.
Look at how many snaps Cordell Patterson took at running back last year, and that'll tell you all you need to know.
Damn, it's funny you bring that up because I thought, and we'll get and we'll end on this. The surprise position of strength right now is one I thought was going to be a massive position of need because I hated Corduroy Peterman leaving the team.
Yeah, I mean he did a lot. He had a nice little role.
Corbell
and
Pattinson, are you kidding me?
Kickoff returner. He had some. Great
He was a running back for 2 games.
Yeah.
He was the best kickoff returner in the NFL last year. Caught some great passes as receiver, including the Miami Meltdown 43-yard dime from Brady.
That was
God,
the
it was
throw.
a freaking laser.
That was Exhibit A.
Freaking laser.
Brady's lost it.
Yep.
Oh, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so. Engage 43-yard dart.
I felt like they did enough. Like
I grabbed that Jets guy by the nuts. How do you not? Did you see how happy he was at the ring ceremony? Yeah. I'm sure the talk was just like, someone else offered me a lot of money. I love you guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I felt great about the receiver core last year, and then it was like all of a sudden everybody started dropping like flies. And, it's like, oh, Jordan Matthews, he's going to be a big part of it. No, Kenny Britt, maybe he'll come. No, I feel like they've thrown enough at the wall again this year, but it's just so unpredictable.
The Kenny Britt era. That was right before the Eric Decker era, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, part of it. I mean, but again, there was big receivers that are thrown at the wall, and usually you think, wow, we're going to get a couple guys out of this, and they really didn't get anything permanent out of it. I mean, you still saw Josh Gordon walk right in and step right over Philip Dorsett and start playing, full time.
Right.
Which is a signal of how they feel about Philip Dorsett, you know, and also Josh Gordon. So but imagine Josh Gordon,
get him back.
Demarius Thomas, N'Keal Harry, Julian Edelman,
Maurice Harris,
Little Berrios, like that.
That's
let's go.
Potentially name a better starting wide receiver trio than if they can go N'Keal Harry, Josh Gordon, and Julian Edelman. That is like, whoa, all of a sudden, like, where'd this come from?
This guy who's never played a snap, guy on a unknown drug suspension, and
Right,
the guy who's 33.
Perfect. Let's go.
But if we're talking their best,
is it September 8th yet? Let's go. Bring it on, Steelers.
No, they got a lot. I mean, and it'll be fun to watch. It's just and then you just wonder about injuries. It's gonna all of a sudden.
Yeah. Let's see. Any other final questions from you guys? Yes, the tight end position is in doubt right now, but don't worry, they'll fix it. We have a feeling the Patriots will be able to because they're pretty good at that. We'll check the Twitter box one more time for questions. You heard the Josh Gordon update. Please post the show afterwards, says EEM19711 for all of us losers with no Facebook account.
Good for you.
Hey, bro. Yeah, good for you, but they're free, right? Didn't cost you anything.
Just on the
everyone can
make
have
up
one.
a fake name with an email.
That's all you got to do. Anyone can have one. It's super easy.
I just had 2 days without a phone, and I'll say it was.
How was it?
It was like I just kept feeling like I needed to do something, and I'm like, I don't, and then and then I like glimpse in and like Ben Volin, Ben Volin. Ben Volin is that the center of the story, and I'm like, yeah, right. I'm good. I don't need it. I'm
just making sure all the banners from ilovebostonsports.com. Today's sponsor. Check them out. ilovebostonsports.com.
Yeah, I don't think we've gone to our second camera.
Yep.
The iPad. Yeah.
Paula J. Przinski says, yes, it is completely fitting that we will drop the banner number 6 against the other team that has 6. in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, the eat a bag of six and the
they-
pursuit for 7 begins on a Sunday night, no less.
Yeah, no Antonio Brown,
Nope.
no none of the killer bees. They're all
I know.
they're all
No
gone.
Le'Veon Bell, whose first carry as a Jet went for -4 yards in training camp, which is just perfect. Oh, by the way, the Jets are awesome right now because I know they picked up some weapons on offense, and they should be better than they were last year, which isn't saying that much. But the fact that Adam Gase is already gone is crazy as the meme of him watching the flying burrito from his press conference and freaking fires their GM, and now they're just like, hey, well, the guy that brought everyone in, get out of here.
Yeah, I know. Just keep
What a
it-
mess.
I would just keep it in place. Just let him and Darnold ride it out.
Yep.
I'm saying this as a nonpartisan here for a second.
Sure.
But just why don't these teams, like, if you believe in it, just ride some ups and downs. You're gonna have
Right.
some ups and downs. Ride it. Get to year 5 of them,
Right.
and then you're gonna start to really see results. And it's hard to do though. It's hard to be patient, and very
Yep.
few NFL teams will be.
All right, I think that pretty much wraps things up here, buddy. All right, if you
Yeah.
guys have any questions for us, you can hit us up on the tweet box anytime at Pat's Propaganda, at FitzyGFY. Once again, thanks to at Boston Sports Co. for sponsoring today's show. We will be back in a couple of weeks with a training camp preview, and then once training camp gets underway, you can pretty much count on us coming at you on a regular basis, pretty much every week, unless old hotshot O'Reilly
Yeah.
over here decides
But
to
even
take
then, if
the
you're
call
still
to the
doing
hall and works for
shows
the
with
Patriots.
banks, or maybe we can say, hey, stop over for a half hour. We can.
No, that podcast got canceled. But thanks for bringing that up.
Sorry.
Picking at Old Wounds is next, right after today's Foxboro and Friends. Yeah, we'll be coming at you. I'm going to get tipped today in Patriots, the only 60-second news you don't need to know. Started up again on the old Instagram at FitzyGFY.
Just the tip.
Just to see how it feels. And of course, new NFL fan therapy will kick in probably right after training camp, once the pretend football season around August 8th or 9th kicks in as well. So,
Pats fans say.
oh,
So
of
feel
course,
something
yeah,
about
there'll
that?
be a
We're
shit
doing
Pats fan
Austin?
save for the kickoff and at the bye week and the playoffs.
Gotta get
A
those.
ton of content for all of you Foxboro fanimals. So
Yeah.
thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, share it with your friends. And keep in touch. LFG, let's go Pats. And by the way, have a wicked piss of summer.
Happy summer, guys.